Hello everyone, welcome back to the Corner of Curiosity. I'm your host Jazz. This is a new true crime live show that I created to kind of just hit on some hot topics that are going around in the news that I really feel like are not being covered properly. So in this live series or live stream, we're going to be actually going over some hot topics and hot true crime cases that have been happening that I really have only been seeing on like TikTok and not really in YouTube space or anything like that. And I do want to make it where I can take these live streams and repurpose them on my YouTube channel just to save a little bit of time and for people to actually watch other clips of it. But I think it would be interesting to see like having a live stream dedicated to true crime. That is something that I am really interested in and want to be a part of that community, and just helping out victims and people who go through these heart-wrenching situations. So we're talking about two main topics today, which are the overwhelming number of lynches of black men that are happening across the United States, which I have not seen a lot of people talk about this whatsoever, so we're going to get started with that. And then the case of Jade McKissic. She was a young lady who was found, I feel like it was yesterday, her body was found in an area of Houston. She was a college student who went missing, and they just found her, and I really have not heard anybody cover any of these two cases, so we're going to be going over that today. If you're new to the live stream, make sure you subscribe, like, share the live with anybody you know, and let's get started. I'm going to be recording my VODs as I go, and then just repurposing them on my YouTube channel. So let me make sure I am recording really quick. Okay, so we are now recording, but we're going to get started with the lynching case because I found a lot of news clips, TikTok videos that I want to go over with you guys to really figure out like what the heck is going on with this situation. So let's get started with that. There's no sound. Hold on.
This did not just happen in Mississippi. This happened in North Carolina. It happened in New York. It happened in Colorado. It's happening around the entirety of the United States. Black men are being found hung in trees. Now, before making this video, I thought it would be a pretty good idea to look at what black creators are saying. And the general consensus is that
Sorry about that.
because of the very obvious historical and social implications, this is not the typical way that a black man would want to take his life. And I think we can all agree that that kind of makes sense, right? And on top of that, this has happened over the course of a few years and in multiple states. Weird, right? And I think what's really crazy is I see a lot of weird mystery, true crime, missing, murder stories on the internet all the time. It's stuff that I'm interested in, but I certainly have not been seeing these, and I think we should change that. Because you know when you're listening to a true crime story or you're watching a true crime documentary and you know that what the police are on right now isn't right and it's going to be completely different in like episode 2 or 3, that's kind of how it feels right now. Start paying attention, start talking about it on the internet, and protect your neighbors for the love of God.
Yeah, so this is what really got me interested in this situation because I knew it was happening, but I didn't realize how big of a scale it actually was. So I found this first case of it was in Mississippi, and there are, like in this TikTok, it says that they're happening all around the country. There's one in New York, one in Mississippi, some other places I saw. So we're going to go ahead and watch this news coverage of this happening. This is the case that was in Mississippi, so let's take a look.
Authorities in Mississippi are investigating the death of Trey Reed, a black college student who was found hanging from a tree on the campus of Delta State University. His death has sparked concern and unease within the local community as officials work to figure out the circumstances surrounding the young man's death.
And the university that this man was found in put out a really weird statement that I wanted to go over with y'all because it seems like every time this happens, a lot of the times people kind of just try to brush it under the rug because they want to get back to business as usual. But it's like you have this ongoing problem of people going missing and you're at your university or around where your university is. Why aren't you taking more precaution for these individuals who are paying you thousands of dollars to go to the school, first of all, and second of all, caring about their safety as just human beings entirely?
We do want to warn you, the information in this report may be disturbing to some of our viewers. As ABC's Melissa Adon reports, Reed's family says they just want some clear answers.
An investigation is underway into what led up to the death of 21-year-old Demetravian Trey Reed. Police saying a school staff member found the Delta State University student hanging from a tree on Monday. Concern spreading through the campus.
Hearing that happened to another black student, it really made me feel it's make me feel unsafe.
The school's public safety chief updating the investigation today, saying the coroner's office preliminary report indicates no evidence of foul play.
How is this not foul play? How can you... I don't understand how you can just see this happen, see a young black man hung, and say it's not foul play. How did he get up there? He didn't do it himself.
Or that he was physically attacked before his death.
The chief medical examiner began conducting a full autopsy this morning. Preliminary results are expected to be available within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Officials say they are viewing videos as part of the investigation. The president of Delta State University expressing how emotional this has been for the campus.
My heartbreak is comprehensive, not just for Trey, although it is primarily for Trey, but for the fact that the rest of the world has an impression of Delta State that is so at odds with what I know to be this institution. This institution should not be associated with hate or hate crimes.
Reed's family describing him as a joyful young man. They and their attorneys are pressing authorities and asking for an independent autopsy and more transparency. His grandfather saying he initially was told Reed was found in his room and died by suicide.
Some just not.
I don't understand how, because I found an article talking about this more of when the family was first notified about Trey's death, the first thing that they told him is that he was found dead in his dorm room. How that is completely different from being found hung at your university. I don't understand how you get that information so wrong and also give that to a family member, someone who is already going through the process of losing someone so close to them, but now the way that they died is completely different from what they thought, and now they have to live with that.
Right. It's not right. It's not right. And I don't believe Trey would do this to his family.
The university says they are in regular contact with Reed's next of kin and that there are no active threats to the campus, and it remains a safe environment for students and faculty. Officials at the Warren County, Mississippi coroner's office say a 35-year-old white man was also found hanging from a tree in Vicksburg the same day Reed was discovered. Authorities telling ABC News there are no known connections between the two deaths. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
So yeah, this is what got me started in the first place of being like, wait, what is going on? And then it led me down this rabbit hole because we have the article from people talking about this case. So down here it says a black student at Delta State University in Mississippi was found hanging from a tree on September 15th, according to university officials. The student had been identified as online rumors suggested Reed sustained injuries that would have prevented him from hanging himself, but officials have denied such claims. Where was it? There was someone on here that said... Yeah, and then just to see, like, whenever I cover these stories, I want to make sure that the victim's legacy lives on, and that means just finding out more information about them as a person, because I really think it's sad when people report on these true crime cases and all they care about is the gruesome details. But it's like this young man was full of life, and he had such a long life to live. So it says right here that Trey Reed was a young man full of promise and warmth, deeply loved and respected by all who knew him. His family and the campus community deserve a full independent investigation to uncover the truth about what happened. I stand with this family, and I will lead a team of civil rights leaders and organizations in pursuing transparency and answers for Trey's family. So that is an article from People, and I think it kind of sums up what happened to this young man. And there are some more TikToks from people who are really talking about the weirdness of, the weirdness of this case, first of all, and second of all, people are now trying to profit off of this young man's death, with one TikToker noting that someone pretended to be a close family member with him, started a whole GoFundMe for him, and started to collect money on behalf of him when they barely even knew this individual. And I think this TikTok I'm about to show you is talking about that, but I am not 100% sure. So let's check it out and see. Unmute and then.
2 young black men were found lynched in Mississippi yesterday. Their names were Trey Reed and Corey Zuckatus. Before I speak about this, try to let y'all know what's going on, I'm sure y'all have seen this video. This man right here claiming that Trey Reed is his cousin. Even started a GoFundMe. He is lying. Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for the GoFundMe. He's not even related. Family does know him. They didn't even like him. One of Trey Reed's actual friends who spoke to him on a day-to-day basis, he came out and said, fuck this nigga. He's lying for views and clout. Nobody around him likes him. They don't speak to him. He does everything for attention. So if you're getting any information from this man, I would disregard it or take it with a grain of salt. Now about the lynchings. Only a couple hours apart were 2 black men lynched. And you're gonna tell me that's just a coincidence? After all these white people been riled up on the internet, all over about Charlie Kirk, talking about they gonna get revenge. Yeah, we gonna get y'all. This, that, and the third. Then this happens. Black people don't lynch themselves. People commit every day. One thing we will not do.
That's what I understand. Out of all the ways that somebody could end their life, potentially, if that's the state that they're in, why would a young black man do that to himself? After all of the history we've seen of this happening to black people against their will, why would he do that? And why does it make sense to really just say, like, oh, there was no foul play, he did it to himself? How does that work?
Go hang ourselves from a tree. Never. And I think people are forgetting, we are talking about Mississippi. Some people might even call it the heart of racism, known for lynchings. And the cops don't even want to do a deeper dive in it. Trey Reed was hung in a blind spot on campus, in one of the only blind spots on campus. They refused to do a deeper dive into the investigation. They just want to call it as a self, which is crazy. You think they would see somebody on camera headed to a certain direction of a blind spot? The family is asking for them to do a deeper investigation. They're not even trying. Shit, the department need to be looked into. I saw a black man at that podium. You tell me you don't even want to look and take a deeper dive into it? That's crazy. Corey Zuckatus was hung in a wooded area only a couple hours after. This shit is crazy, man. I hope the right people get on this case, do a deeper dive, find the evidence they need to convict whoever did this shit. My thoughts and prayers are with the family. I know we always got to be self-aware, especially during these times. You need to keep your head on the swivel as a black person. Black woman, black man, don't matter. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of where you're going, who you are going with. Don't be having 2 headphones in, depending on where you are. This shit hurt, man. Y'all.
Yeah, and it just sucks about how aware you have to be as a person of color anywhere you go. If you're at school, if you're at work, sometimes even in your own home, as we've seen in other cases of people being harmed for just the color of their skin. But it's even worse when it comes to young people who are trying to better themselves. This young man was in college and this happened to him. It's like, when do we ever get a break? When will we ever get a break from always looking over our shoulder and always constantly having to make sure that we are in a safe area, that nobody's, or being prejudiced toward us? Like, you never know. And it really sucks when these cases happen of people just going about their daily lives and something like this happening. And then there is I thought I had the clip. I guess I didn't have it. The clip of the university person, or I think it was the president of the university actually, who was going over what happened. But I don't think I have that one. But here we have the... Hold on. Yeah, this is the clip from the president of Delta State University talking about what happened. And I think it's weird when people just sweep over, especially like officials like this, when they just sweep over what happened and they just go towards business as usual. They were like, well, that happened, we're sorry, but let's continue with going back to class. Like, even with other mass tragedies, they will, instead of really being there for the students and helping them grieve this individual, they just are like, okay, well, that's just a part of it, go back to class. Like, what? But let's check this out.
the loss of our student, Trey Reed. But today, the campus is safe, the campus is active, the campus is alive, and we are going back to learning even as we grieve. And what we want to communicate.
How can you expect people to go back to class like nothing happened? To have to grieve a classmate, grieve someone that looks like them. How do you just expect them to go back to class like nothing happened?
Communicate to the community is that we know that as a university, we're given a trust. People come here to learn, they come here to be safe, and they come here to thrive. And one of our students is gone, and we will never forget that. We continue to meet with and be in contact with Trey's family. We give them our love and support, and we know that we can never fully heal this wound. None of us will fully heal. We're aware of the recent coroner report, and we're aware of other developments in the investigation, as is the family. As you might imagine, we can only release information that's appropriate, and we will never release any information or make any statement that compromises the ability of authorities to get to an answer that is true, that is real, and that, if not satisfying, at least helps us understand a little bit better what occurred.
Let's take a look at these comments, because I know people got something to say. No, the campus is not safe. If someone died on your watch in such a humane manner, where are the cameras? That's a good question. Where is there no footage of him walking around campus at least? Like, how do you have a university and you have no cameras? I feel like that's one of the prime locations that's to have cameras. Just with school, or just with people in general going to school, you never know what could happen. You have crazy people out here who are doing things like this to individuals, and you don't have cameras, you don't have any footage to show. Investigators aren't releasing any information. Yeah, right here. The cops originally told his parents he was found in his dorm room. They found out the truth through media, which, like I said, that is just foul. Yeah, like that's not mentioned in this video at all, which don't even know how that works. But I think I have one more. This is a TikTok of another young man who was found dead. This was in DeWitt, New York, and I think it's just nobody is talking about any of these individuals. So let's take a look at this, and we'll get into the case of Jade McKissic.
Hanging reported in the United States. This time, unfortunately, it's another day and another hanging reported in the United States. This time in DeWitt, New York, on a state freeway, the Thruway.
If anybody's joining the live right now, I am Jazz. I'm the host of the Corner of Curiosity. This is a new live stream I'm starting to go over true crime cases that aren't really being talked about in the media. Right now we're talking about the crime of black men being found hung in different areas of the United States. There was one recently that happened in Mississippi. That's what we just went over. And now we're going over this one that happened in DeWitt, New York. And I just feel like nobody's talking about these. Like, the only time I see these topics being discussed is on TikTok. Like, nobody on mainstream media, maybe one interview or one video, but that's literally it. Nobody is really going over this in detail. So let's take a listen.
Of DeWitt, New York. So basically it's like an overpass of the freeway, and drivers frantically reported to 911 that they saw a man hanging from the overpass. Imagine that. Imagine driving and seeing someone hanging from the overpass. This is what nightmares are made for. What are we, back in the 1930s? This is insane. I mean, I literally feel like I'm in a time machine right now. What about you? Anyways, of course, the cops arrive on the scene, and they automatically, within 5 minutes of seeing the person hanging, they label it as a self-unaliving. No autopsy done yet. No findings in the investigation, because there probably isn't an investigation. Apparently in this country, if someone is hanging, it's automatically labeled as a suicide, and that is it. Case closed. The identity of this man has not been released yet. All we know is he's, I think, 27 years old. They have not released his race or his name as of yet.
That is wild. This was posted a day ago. Let's see what the comments are saying. This is all just saying that like the police may be behind it, which if you have watched any true crime ever, honestly, a lot of times the police are corrupt. Like it's just crazy. But now let's get into the case of Jade McKissic, this is a young lady who was found, her body, hold on, let me go back to me. Her body was found, I think it was yesterday, honestly. Her body was found in the area of Houston. She was missing for, I don't remember how long she was missing. We'll get into the details right here, but we're going to be going over that now. And if you are new to the live stream, welcome. My name is Jazz. I'm the host of the Corner of Curiosity, where we cover everything from true crime, cults, conspiracies, things like that. Today we're actually going over some true crime news that has been kind of swept under the rug, honestly. We first went over the lynching of black men across the United States, but specifically in Mississippi. And now we're going over the case of Jade McKissic, who was found in Houston, and nobody really knows what happened to her. So we're actually going to get started with her sister's Instagram, because she posted this post of her sister. So her name was Jade Sage McKissic, and I'm pretty sure she went by Sage most of the time. But it says, pictured here is our beautiful sister, 20 years old, Jade Shag McKissic. Oh, you can't see, I'm sorry. Jade Sage McKissic. She was found dead on Monday, September 15th in Brays Bayou. She was a student at the University of Houston. She was a junior majoring in strategic communications and advertising. She was described by the university as a campus resident and student employee and a friend to many in our community. She was reported as a missing person on September 11th. She was last seen at LA Burgers and Daiquiris, located right downtown the street from campus. After 4 days of being missing, her body pulled from the Braden Bayou, a body of water less than a mile from campus. Jade was a part of the 2025 UH orientation team at her school and was thrilled about not only being a student, but helping others on campus as well. Jade, hey queen, hey sis, you didn't deserve this. I love you. We love you. I'm sorry. If you live in Houston and need any vigils or anything boosted for our girl Jade, please let me know. And whenever I go over these cases, I've said this before, but I want to make sure that this person's memory lives on and that we know a little bit of information about this person, about their life and who they were, because their story isn't just how they died. It's about the life they were able to live while they were still on this earth. And that's why I really want to start off these cases just going over who this person was as an individual, and then we can get into the story. But like I said, this is Jade, and this recently happened like last week, that her body was found on this Monday, actually, because today is the 20th. So her body was found on Monday, September 15th. Here's a TikTok kind of going over what happened to her. So let's check out that now. Let me pull it up really quick.
Was the 13th girl they found dead in Houston this month. What I don't understand is, why are these girls all of a sudden disappearing, and why won't nobody speak on the situation? This girl was in school getting her communications degree. Ain't no way in hell they claim she was across the street from a tire shop by an overpass. I'm gonna show y'all in the picture. But this is where they say she was at. Who in the fuck would be last seen right here at 2 o'clock in the morning? It's time for us to start using our head. Somebody alluring these women into unfortunate situations and then doing the most gruesome, ill-intended things you could ever think of to them. Now, don't nobody care, because don't nobody care about black people, let alone black women. You know America could give two fucks about black women. So they just letting these bodies hit the floor without any form of justice. And the shit sad. Now everybody who knew Jade, they call her Sage. You hear me? So it's fucked up to watch Sage just disappear and 5 days later be found floating in the river. Come on, y'all. Black people, we gonna have to start waking the fuck up and realizing we are in danger. Especially black women. Y'all been attacking black women all year, fucking clean over them, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it. We not gonna have grandmas, mothers, aunties, cousins. We ain't gonna have no black females left if y'all keep letting them unalive them. Most people don't want to get caught working with law enforcement, But behind these black women, you gonna have to. You see something, you know something, you just ain't saying nothing. I don't like the way black women are being targeted. It's truly depressing and heartbreaking. Now I'm sending my condolences out to the whole McKissic family, all her friends.
Yeah, and this is exactly why I wanted to start doing these live streams and really hone in on black individuals who are going through these horrific events, because nobody is talking about them. Nobody is going out there and explaining what happened. They kind of just get brushed under the rug, or they only get one day of coverage and that is it. So I wanted to make these cases to the forefront. So if you're still joining the live, my name is Jazz. Today we're going over two cases that I feel like are not being covered as much, which are the lynchings of black men across the United States, specifically the case that happened in Mississippi, and this case right here with Jade, who she went missing September 11th, and her body was just found this Monday, September 15th, in Houston. And it seems like her body went missing, or I'm sorry, her body was found in this area right here, a body of water and she was out at like 2 a.m. around this restaurant, which is crazy. And then I have this clip from Fox that kind of explains the situation and what happened to her and how she was found and things like that. So we can go over that now. Let me pull it up.
What a professional I am. So it's like, chopsticks or a fork.
We don't discriminate.
We don't. Okay, and I'm glad that it's all welcome here. All right, so tell us a little bit about.
That's not okay. What the heck is this? Why is there an ad? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me look up this because I don't know why it's not loading. Oh, I didn't realize my mic was off. But there's got to be more to the story. They're saying that there was no foul play or trauma found on her body. But how do you just drop dead like that? Especially if you're just a healthy individual. Doesn't make sense.
We do begin here with breaking news. In the last half hour, Houston police say the initial autopsy of 20-year-old U of H student Jade McKissic found no signs of trauma or foul play, but the cause of death is still under investigation. McKissic's body was recovered earlier this week from Bray's Bayou 4 days after she was last seen. KPRC 2 News' Rochelle Turner is live from the gas station near campus where she was last seen. Rochelle?
Lisa, good afternoon to you. And as you mentioned, we are learning this new information all coming into our newsroom in the past 20 minutes or so. To give you a perspective, we're right along North McGregor Way. This is where Houston police say that Jade was last seen. So to help kind of piece together exactly what happened, I'm going to kind of show you what we've learned so far. So according to Houston police, she was last seen at a bar and restaurant right along this area. She was there with some friends. From there, Houston police say that she left that restaurant and left her phone and then walked right over here to the Shell gas station. Now, I did go inside and speak to the owner. He did tell me that he is waiting to see if he can get in touch with the gas station owner who has access to the video to see if we can kind of get a better perspective of what Jade was doing. Police say that she purchased a drink and then she walked right out here beyond.
You gotta think there's gotta be some. This is a gas station, a restaurant. They gotta have some type of security footage showing what she was doing the night of what happened, or the night that she went missing. Like, I don't understand why it takes investigators so long to release footage, especially if there were if her friends were there. If other people can recognize her in the video, they might see somebody who was acting weird around her, or just see where she went after this. Because how does she end up from this, bar and grill or whatever to where she was found? It doesn't make sense. But yes, if you're new to the live stream, my name is Jazz. This is a true crime live stream. We're going over some cases that are not being shown a lot in mainstream media or not being talked about that I believe that do need to be talked about, especially when it comes to minorities and people of color. Right now we're talking about the case of Jade McKissic, who was found, her body was found on Monday, and she went missing on September 11th, and now it's coming out like what happened to her and things like that.
This gas station, and right on the other side of this gas station is Brays Bayou. Police say that is where Jade walked to, and ever since, there's been a lot of questions surrounding her death and disappearance. Now take a look at some of the video that we have been following with this story. So Jade was reported missing on September 11th. 4 days later, her body was recovered from the bayou. The autopsy revealed no signs of foul play or trauma. HPD says her cause of death is under investigation. She was a student at the University of Houston. She was 20 years old. She was a junior, majoring in strategic communication and advertising. She was also a part of the 2025 UH orientation team and worked on campus as a front desk assistant. So a lot of questions still surrounding her death and disappearance, but right now Houston police confirming that there are no signs of foul play, no signs of trauma linked to her death, but it's still under investigation. So I have been working to try to get surveillance video of Jade here at this bar and restaurant, as well as from the gas station. We also have been working to figure out, to learn more about this student. It is sad when anyone has to lose their life, so we're hoping that we could speak to her friends and family so they can tell us what type of person that she was. But we are going to stay on top of this story, and we'll have another live report coming up today at 4 o'clock. For now, reporting live in Houston's 3rd Ward, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
It's still so.
Yeah, I hope that this journalist can find the footage of her, because they gotta have something, and hopefully her friends and family can get some type of justice for their family member. But here's another TikTok of somebody talking about what happened, because the only way I knew about this happening was from TikTok and from other Black creators talking about what happened to her, and me getting really interested in wanting to make this video and things like that. So
Jade McKissic was found in the bayou yesterday, and she's been reported missing since last week on 9/11. She was last seen at LA Daiquiris, and ain't nobody really talking about it. I ain't seen University of Houston make a public announcement about it. Like, even when we lost one of our students at TSU.
Because you would think that her school would post something. Like, I feel like when this happens to other individuals, they post some type of be on the lookout, missing, things like that, to warn the community that somebody in their that somebody from their school is missing. You think they would have some type of posting or anything on there.
We made an announcement at least the same week that it happened. I think what makes this story a little bit more confusing and scary is the fact that how close it is to home. Like, she was found off of she was last seen off of Scott and McGregor at LA Daiquiris. A lot of us who attend TSU and UH go there, especially for like our hump nights, hump day, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, we go there. And for her to be seen, that's the last place that she was seen. And for her to be found near Spirit 5, that's literally near the fucking freeway. And a lot of us stay in off-campus housing near that freeway. And it's like, it just baffles me that nobody saw nothing. Like, nothing. She was gone, missing for a week, and a week later we found her. Like, it really just breaks my heart. Like, what happened to her? What happened to...
Yeah, it is really sad to see that a lot of these campuses, because with this one and the first case we covered, a lot of these campuses just brush it under the rug and go back to class as usual, business as usual, because they want students to get back to normal life. But it's like, how do you expect a group of students who are scared for their own life, but also scared for the lives of the people around them, because they're going missing, they're found dead, things like that? How are you not caring? It just seems like these universities and these organizations don't really care, and sometimes they don't.
The student who went to Delta State University, I believe, in Mississippi, what happened to the other gentleman who was found on a tree. Like, all of this shit is like wicked. Like, we need to wake the fuck up. Like, stay the fuck home. get a gun, get something, because the world is fucking evil, bro. The world is fucking evil, and it don't make no sense to me that our children are being killed and just dumped in the river like nothing.
Yeah, and then that is just like, we really have to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and the people around us. And that makes it even harder for people to go out and live their lives because they're scared that something's going to happen to them. Like, even me personally, I'm a young woman in America, a person of color. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't get me wrong, I do stay in a lot more of the times now than when I was younger because I know what this world is like. I know what could happen to people who look like me and other people of color. Like, you have to be vigilant. You have to keep your head on the swivel. You have to be aware of your surroundings as a person of color and as a woman in general. Like, and don't even let it be a woman of color who is also, I just said that, who is a woman of color. Like, you have to be aware of your surroundings. But welcome to the live stream. If you're new, this is a true crime live stream, and we are going over two cases involving people of color, and just going over, like, why is nobody talking about it, what is happening, and, you know, just spreading light on these situations. So we're nearing the end of the live stream, but we were talking about Jade McKissic, and she went missing on September 11th, and her body was just found on September 15th, this past Monday, and nobody is really talking about it. Nobody really knows what happened to her. This was in Houston. Her body was found in a body of water. I can't remember where, but we have one more TikTok that I wanted to go over that kind of explains how this people at the schools aren't saying anything. So it's just scary. But this is just a quick little TikTok to end the video with. Oops. Let me rewind. I don't know why it plays automatically like that, like this.
The thing that's really fucking me up about this Sage situation, rest in peace to that young soul, the nightmare realization of how routine that route is for a college student that goes to UH or TSU. You know how many of
even the school I went to a pretty big university, and you had to keep your head on a swivel. There were so many instances of people being going into the wrong Uber, running into the wrong person. Like, you have to keep your head on a swivel when you're at these universities, specifically. Like, your normal day, you going to the bar at night, anything like that, you have to make sure that you're aware of your surrounding as a woman, as a person of color. Those two combined is even, tenfold. You have to worry about what's going on around you. And it's sad to see that nobody is covering these situations and what's happening to these individuals.
us back in the day, even though I just graduated, will go to LA Burger and Daiquiris on a weeknight, bro? That is common. To think that common route led to a young woman in a river, bro. Like, this shit is not normal. In the USCSU area, do you know how many potentially oppressive people are around here, bro? Between the weirdos, the potential criminals, and the homeless people, you don't know who is who. This area is just really effed up, bro.
Yeah, and I think you could say that about, honestly, the whole country. There's going to be areas where people go missing and people are found dead for no apparent reason, but there is a reason, just nobody wants to investigate it to their full potential, because it may be because of what the person looks like, what gender they are, you never know. But this is one reason why I wanted to start this live stream, is to really get these people's names, their stories, and what happened to them out there. So if there's more information that can be found, we can find it. So this is going to be the end of the first live stream. I'm actually going to cut these videos into two separate videos for my channel, just so I can get these out to a larger audience as well. But I hope that if anybody stopped and joined in, that you enjoyed the live stream. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all those things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Stop the recording, and let me see. Okay, I just want to make sure it's saved.